Gentlemen, imagine this. On the surface, everything seems fine. The routine, the conversations, the familiar smile. It all looks the same. But beneath the surface, something feels off. She's distant, her affection has waned, and her warmth is slowly slipping through your fingers. Perhaps she's harder to reach, more closed off, or maybe you can just sense that something isn't quite right. You can't pinpoint it, but that nagging feeling in your gut is relentless, whispering in your ear. What's really going on? Could there be someone else in the picture? Could she be sharing her heart with another man? Today, we're going to dive deep, past the surface, past the pleasantries, and uncover the subtle, yet telling signs that might reveal another man is quietly taking your place. Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the raw truths of modern relationships, attraction, and the complex dance of intimacy. Now, I know this isn't something anyone wants to confront. The thought of betrayal feels like a punch to the chest, a shattering of trust that cuts deeper than words can say. We want to believe in the bonds we share with those we love, to feel secure in the arms of the ones we've given our hearts to. But here's the truth. Infidelity doesn't always come with a dramatic confession. It often slips in, slowly, imperceptibly, until one day, you find yourself standing on shaky ground, asking yourself, is something more going on here? Your gut is telling you something. And while the signs aren't always glaring, they are there, hidden in the little things, the subtle shifts that often go unnoticed. Today, we'll uncover 6 powerful signs that could point to a painful truth. These aren't just the obvious, glaring red flags. No, we're talking about the subtle, almost imperceptible changes in her behavior, the ones that could signal someone else is vying for her heart. By the end of this video, you'll be armed with the knowledge and clarity to see through the smoke and mirrors, to understand the deeper psychology behind why she might stray, and to recognize the signs before they destroy everything you've built. So, take a deep breath and let's dive in. Here are 6 signs that she might be seeing another man, because knowing the truth, as painful as it may be, is always better than living in the shadow of doubt. Number 1. She suddenly becomes unavailable or too busy for you. The dance of a relationship is often defined by the rhythm of time shared, the moments carved out of each other's lives. But what happens when that rhythm starts to falter, when the harmony is broken by an unsettling silence? One of the clearest signs that something has shifted is when a woman, once so eager to spend time with you, suddenly withdraws. The reasons may vary. She might cite being too busy, overwhelmed with work, or simply needing space. While these explanations may hold a semblance of truth, the drastic change in her availability speaks louder than words. It's not just the canceled plans or the less frequent calls. It's the emotional distance that seeps in, slowly replacing the closeness you once shared. What was once a spontaneous connection now feels like a distant echo, a faint trace of what once was. When a woman who used to make time for you, even on her busiest days, now treats your presence as a burden, it's not a simple shift. It's a question begging to be answered. What has changed? Is it truly her schedule, or is there something, or someone else commanding the attention and energy that once belonged to you? The unsettling truth is that this unavailability may not just be the result of a hectic life. It could be the sign of another presence in her world, quietly claiming the space once shared with you. If you're enjoying these insights and still with me in this journey, let me know by commenting with a number 1 below. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Number 2. Her phone becomes off limits. In a world where our phones have become extensions of our very selves, the sudden shift in how a woman treats hers can speak volumes. A woman who was once open, leaving her phone lying around without a second thought, may now transform into a guarded keeper, a silent sentinel over her device. If she becomes defensive, anxious, or even agitated at the thought of you being near her phone, it's a sign that something has changed, something hidden beneath the surface. What was once an object of casual convenience has now become an impenetrable vault, locked tight with the secrets she refuses to reveal. It's not merely about privacy. It's about secrecy, messages left unread, calls unanswered, and apps that, if uncovered, could expose a world outside of you. She may turn the phone face down, take it with her to the bathroom, or even clutch it like a lifeline, refusing to let it out of her sight. This shift is more than just a minor adjustment in habit. It is a quiet cry for separation. Her phone is no longer a tool of connection. It has become a symbol of something hidden, a place where someone else's presence may be occupying the space that once belonged to you. If she is keeping secrets behind that screen, it's not just the messages that are concealed. It's the trust that once made you feel close. And now, that trust is the very thing she is trying to protect by hiding it away. Number 3. Changes in intimacy or affection. Intimacy, both physical and emotional, is the foundation upon which many relationships are built, yet it is also the first to shift when something or someone threatens to break that bond. A sudden withdrawal from affection, a reluctance to engage in physical contact, or an indifference toward intimacy. These are not just signs of stress or personal issues, though they may be dressed as such. They are often the subtle whispers of a deeper shift, a quiet sign that another presence may be meeting needs that you once filled. When the warmth between you starts to wane, when the touch that once felt natural becomes awkward or absent, it's easy to dismiss these changes as temporary or circumstantial. But if this withdrawal happens alongside other unsettling signs, it may indicate a fracture in the emotional connection, one that is no longer solely shared with you. Infidelity, often born in silence and secrecy, is adept at hiding itself behind such shifts, camouflaging itself as a natural ebb and flow of a relationship. However, intimacy is not a fleeting phenomenon. It's an expression of closeness, a language that speaks between hearts. If your partner's once open arms now seem distant, it's time to pause and listen to the silence between you. Is this a momentary phase, a passing shadow of stress, or a deeper, unspoken truth emerging from the cracks? The change in how she touches you, or doesn't, deserves more than just passing attention. It deserves an honest conversation about what truly lies beneath the surface. If you're still watching and finding resonance in these insights, I'd love to hear from you. Comment with number 2 below to let me know you're here. Thank you for being part of this journey and for sharing your valuable time. Number 4. She becomes overly defensive or irritable when asked about her plans. In relationships, curiosity is not just a trait of concern but a reflection of care, a desire to understand the other person, to know the small details that shape their world. Yet, when asking seemingly simple questions about her day or where she has been evokes anger or defensiveness, something deeper may be at play. A woman who once shared her plans freely, who spoke of her day with openness, may now retreat into silence or, worse, respond with irritation when you ask about her whereabouts or who she spent time with. It is not the question itself, but the reaction to it that signals the shift. The once safe and trusting space where communication flowed easily becomes a battleground, where even the most innocent inquiries seem to provoke a storm. This sudden defensiveness, far from being a natural reaction, often speaks of something hidden, something that needs to be protected, because guilt, like a shadow, demands secrecy. Cheating often wears the mask of defensiveness, projecting guilt in an attempt to deflect the truth. When the inquiry, "How was your day?" or "Who were you with?" leads to a disproportionate response, it's not the question at fault, but the emotion it stirs within her. In that defensiveness lies a deeper truth, the kind that only surfaces when someone feels threatened by their own deception. When these responses arise without cause, it becomes less about what is being asked and more about what is being hidden. This change in behavior may be uncomfortable, but it serves as a stark reminder that trust, once cracked, becomes a fragile thing to hold. Before dismissing it as nothing, take a moment to reflect. Why does she guard her answers with such intensity? Is it really about the question? Or is it the growing distance between you that makes even the simplest words feel like an accusation? The answers may not be spoken aloud, but in her reaction, the silence speaks volumes. Sign number 5. Sudden changes in appearance or behavior. In the intricate dance of a relationship, the shifts in behavior and appearance often reveal more than what meets the eye. When a woman's commitment to her partner falters, one of the first areas to bear the imprint of change is her outward presentation. It may begin subtly, an unexpected new wardrobe, a change in makeup, or a shift in hairstyle. Small details that, at first glance, might seem like nothing more than personal growth or a desire for change. Yet, as time unfolds, these alterations grow more pronounced, more deliberate, as though she is trying to transform into someone different, someone who is no longer defined by the life she once shared with you. Why the sudden interest in her appearance? Why the unexpected attention to things that seemed inconsequential before? When a woman begins dressing differently, especially without explanation or a clear purpose, it often points to a deeper desire, perhaps to attract someone else's attention, to impress someone new. It is not just the clothes she wears, but the energy behind them, the shift in the rhythm of her self-presentation. Similarly, her behavior may undergo a subtle but significant transformation. The warmth that once defined your interactions may begin to fade into a cool detachment. She may become more secretive, more elusive, as though retreating into a space where you no longer have access. This emotional distance is often a sign of a shift in where her focus lies, and if these behavioral changes coincide with her physical appearance, they are rarely mere coincidence. These alterations, be they in the way she dresses or in the way she behaves, are not isolated incidents, but rather signals of something deeper. They may reflect an attempt to distance herself from you, to reinvent herself in ways that are aligned with new desires, perhaps a new connection. Change is a natural part of life, but when these shifts occur without explanation, when they appear to be directed elsewhere, it is essential to pause and question. Who is she becoming, and who is she becoming that way for? This is not a moment to ignore the subtle signs of transformation. Rather, it is an invitation to see beyond the surface, to explore the emotional currents beneath the changes, and to ask the hard questions that may uncover the truth about the distance growing between you. If you're still here and finding these reflections meaningful, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're on this journey with me. Your time and engagement mean the world. Thank you. Sign number 6. Gut instincts and uneasy feelings. There is a profound truth that lies within the core of our being. A truth that often reveals itself when our mind is clouded with doubt and our heart is heavy with uncertainty. This truth is the quiet whisper of our intuition, that nagging feeling deep within us that something is off, even when we can't quite put our finger on it. It is a feeling that cannot be dismissed, a warning that speaks to us when the world around us seems unchanged, yet something within us tells a different story. In relationships, our instincts are powerful guides. They sense the subtle shifts in her behavior, the slight changes in her tone, the unspoken distance between you. Often, these are the moments that are difficult to quantify, the instances that don't have concrete proof, yet your gut tells you that something is wrong. It's easy to brush these feelings aside, to convince yourself that they're just fleeting thoughts or insecurities, but that would be a mistake. These instincts exist for a reason. They are the product of our subconscious mind processing things we may not be fully aware of on the surface. If her actions begin to contradict her words, if there's a persistent discomfort that lingers despite her reassurances, this is the time to listen. Pay attention to the signs that your inner voice is trying to communicate. Relationships thrive on trust, openness, and emotional alignment. And when those foundations begin to falter, you may sense it before anything overt happens. This is the moment to confront your unease, to invite transparency into the conversation, and to ask the hard questions that may bring clarity. Trust yourself. Don't allow fear or self-doubt to silence the voice that has always guided you. When things feel wrong, it is not weakness but strength to question, to seek the truth, and to open the door to honest dialogue. A relationship founded on clarity and mutual respect can withstand the trials that arise, but one built on assumptions and silence will only grow weak, crumbling beneath the weight of misunderstanding and unspoken betrayals. So, while these signs, this uneasy feeling, might not be definitive proof of infidelity, they are an invitation to look deeper, to take action before the shadows of doubt can take root. If you recognize these red flags stacking up, don't hesitate to address them. Have the difficult conversation. Lay everything on the table. For in this pursuit of truth, you will not only find the answers you seek, but the peace that comes from living authentically and with integrity. As the journey of love unfolds, remember this. You are worthy of a relationship where trust is unshakable and loyalty stands as a fortress. You deserve a partnership where both hearts beat in unison, where respect and understanding flow as naturally as breath. Never, ever settle for anything less than this sacred connection, and most importantly, Never disregard the voice within you, your intuition. It is the compass that will guide you through the complexities of love and life. Thank you for joining me today. If this video sparked a thought, brought a new perspective, or gave you the clarity you were seeking, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay with us for more transformative insights into relationships, personal growth, and the art of self-discovery. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, because the journey toward becoming the best version of yourself never stops. Remember, stay strong, stay centered, and above all, trust yourself. For in the end, your heart knows the way.